Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw a strong upside directional move off that larger time frame high volume node at 27.85. And at this point, heading into the open, as long as the buyers can hold ES above the 27.98 to 2800 pre-market support or the 27.94 to 96.5 initial support zone, there would be potential to continue heading higher beyond the 2803 to 05 half pre-market resistance. So holding above initial support and especially above pre-market support would signal continued strength. And as long as we're seeing continued broad market strength and sustained upside momentum, and we're not seeing any major warning signs like big downside momentum, the current larger pattern that's in play would support a move beyond 2803 to 05 half. Now that area is valid resistance until broken, and we have already seen a response there, but it's not a major area of resistance. And as long as we're continuing to see strength and upside momentum in real time, ES can take that area out and head up into the naked VPOC at 2809 and the initial resistance zone at 2811 half to 14 quarter. And that zone has potential to cap the upside on the day, and beyond that, we have larger time frame and stronger areas of resistance at 28.16 to 18 and 19 quarter to 23 quarter. The big challenge with trying to capture whatever's left of the upside move is that majority of the move has already played out in the overnight session, and that means that a lot of the range potential has already been used up, and now there is limited reward potential left on the day time frame. So even though ES can break 2803 to 05 half, unless the volume picks up, the market may not even reach 11 half to 14 quarter. So even though it can take out pre-market resistance, it might stop at 2809 or even a little bit ahead of that and then start balancing or consolidating within a range. So these types of days where the market's opening on a big gap and a lot of the range has already been used up does add risk to anyone trying to capture whatever's left of the move. So it's something to keep in mind, especially given that it's a Friday and we're now going to be heading into the weekend. But that being said, as long as the buyers are holding ES above initial support or pre-market support, the buy side can maintain the control that we've seen in the overnight session, and the door would still be open for a retest and break above the pre-market resistance zone. Now on the downside, if we get a breakdown below the initial support zone and the advanced decline line is trending lower and the tick starts to hold below zero, then that would signal a false breakout attempt. And in that bearish scenario, the market could retrace majority of the overnight move. So if we break down below initial support, we can quite easily head down into the previous VPOC at the 88 quarter to 89.75 zone, and then below that we have the previous close and the balance area high volume node at 27.85 where buyers could be active, and finally the overnight low and yesterday's low at 81.75 to 83.75 where buyers can still defend, and we would need to see excess weakness and some decent and sustained downside momentum in order to take that support zone out, and below that buyers can defend at pretty much every area of support. Now that is the lower probability scenario, but as always, it's important to be prepared for the low odds scenario as well. So by default, we are going to give edge to the buy side above initial support and pre-market support. But if the real-time situation starts to turn bearish and the market starts to break down below the initial support zone, then we need to be aware of the low odds scenario as well, which would open the door for a move back down into 27.85 and even 81.75 to 83.75. So that is the market context and trade plan heading into the open. Let's see if the buy side can hold ES above initial support or pre-market support and continue to maintain the control we've seen here in the overnight session, and we'll take it from there.